All right, so I got 15 sentences with some deep meaning. I'm going to kind of get your thoughts on it. I'll do a little something different today. We're going to start off with the first one. This one kind of made me think a little bit, when the phone was tied with a wire, humans were free. Just kind of get your opinion on a couple of these.
Yeah, bro. I mean, folks talk about that stuff all the time, man. Being readily available at any moment now these days is kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah, you can reach out and talk to people, but I mean, people abuse that. People abuse that, like
I feel the
at
same way.
work,
Yeah. Oh,
family,
gosh.
friends.
Well, why didn't you answer
Like
my text?
I mean, even with back in the day, like even with having an answering machine, you come home, you got like 18 missed messages. You're like, you're like, bruh, like, okay, let me set aside a half an hour to listen to all this.
Yeah.
And then, but
I know kids don't nowadays, they don't feel it as much, but I think from us going from back to when phones just were corded, didn't you have walk around the house phones? You remember the phones with the big old antennas that you'd had to pull up and stuff,
oh yeah,
first
yeah.
cordless phones? Like they were like, you got cordless phone, call waiting. I remember when
Yeah,
Star
call waiting.
69 came
Somebody's
out,
on
we
the
was
other
like,
line. Give me a second.
yeah.
Give me a
Yeah.
second. Somebody's on the other line. That's yeah, man.
Don't answer it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
answer it. Let the answer machine get it. Let the
Not
answer
even
machine
that.
get it.
What was it? Caller ID.
Oh
That's
yeah,
when things
that
really
was
started
dope.
popping off. You're like, nope. No,
I remember
nope.
that summer I got my pager and I worked and saved, I got that money and I got my pager when I was like 13 or something like that. And people would be like, I
Fucking
paged you.
pagers,
Why'd you
bro.
call me back? Ah, man, that stuff's bootsy. I feel like that's now people just trying to get a hold of you all the time. People should have a little more leeway with, like I said before, we're dudes. You text me in the moment. It's not important. I'm doing a million things. Sometimes I just forget. Call me if it's that
Well,
important.
not just that, man. I always tell my girl, you can text me, but I ain't trying to read a novel. Like if you got paragraphs, man, you better just call me at that point because I ain't reading that. Because as soon as I see those paragraphs, I'm going to be calling you.
Yeah, I do
So
the
you
same
might as
thing.
well just
Like
call
when you
me.
text me a paragraph of stuff and I'm not writing you a book back, you just ask me a question that I have to give you some deep thought on.
Well,
I'm
not
calling you.
just that, not just that. It at this day and age, it's all weaponized. Somebody's silence is a weapon. Somebody's communication is a weapon. Somebody can endlessly spam you, and unless you block them, and even then, long as they have their number, they might still be able to spam you from other sources. And if they ghost you or shut you out, that is also a weapon. So
Yeah.
that's the sad reality of technology and things like that. Because some people just don't even understand. You could be at work; they can know you're at work, and why didn't you text me back? Motherfucker, I'm working.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hold on, let me stop what they're paying me for to send you a message. But I mean, granted, there's pros and cons
Oh,
to
there's
all
tons
of
of
it.
pros. Yeah.
In
In the
case
case
of
of
emergencies, things
emergencies
like
and
that.
the
But
kids. Yeah, I get it. Look at Cheryl
but
brought me she brought me a sparkly cup to embarrass me on here. Look at this thing, man. Oh my gosh. I don't care. I'm man enough to drink out of it. Okay.
You didn't even put it in frame. Now I see it. Sparkly cup. Cool. Looks like lipstick, bro. I'll call you Lily from now on. What up?
Oh yeah. All right. Next one says staying calm in a situation that used to stress you out is a sign of growth.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I feel that.
approach to stress is one of the biggest steps with conquering it. An
Yeah.
experience, especially if it's the same situation that is stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I know how to handle this. I can handle it. You think about it clearly. Things like that. Remaining emotionally and mentally focused in those stressful situations. Yeah,
This next
that's
one,
incredibly important.
I like a lot, really. And I had to do this. It says, discipline is nothing but self-respect at the highest level.
Oh, 100%.
And I love
Is it?
this. I love this one. Go ahead. I'll let you go first. Go
No, I guess I equate it. I know you understand this to working out, man. I tell
ahead. Yeah.
people we're both in our 40s, pushing mid 40s and stuff. Working out, people are like, "What do you do? What do you do?" And I tell them the biggest thing is just consistency. I'm not trying to be massive. I'm not trying to put on 100 pounds of muscle. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I'm trying to maintain functional strength and good flexibility, good motor skills with my body as I'm getting older. And I always tell people, consistency, but like, I also tell people too, I don't want to fucking work out. I don't want to get up at 6 and go to my cold ass garage and work out or drive to the gym and work out. I don't want to do none of that. I want to stay in bed.
Oh, see,
But
that's where I'm
it's
different.
it
I
it
like
well,
it.
it's yeah, no, I mean, I like the results. I like what it does for me mentally, what that translates to me emotionally and stuff. But that's that saying, choose your heart. If you neglect yourself, you're going to deal with a whole bunch of battles.
Well, see, I
You
feel like
emotionally and
same thing
mentally.
is like people are like with the dieting. I watch, like I said, I watch this guy Sam. He's fucking awesome, dude. I mean, he's a kid and he's taught me so much just because he's simplified it so well that it let me understand because I didn't know anything about working out and grams and macros and protein and goals and all that stuff. And everybody's like, I need motivation. How do I get the motivation? Or people ask me, how'd you lose all that weight? And I'm just like, it's not, it didn't just come to me. You don't think it was hard? You don't think I was hungry? You don't think, I mean, dieting, when you said talk to somebody about dieting, you could see it in their face. They're like, oh, because all they think about is like the restriction part of it. They don't think of, I have a goal. And that's how I feel right now. Like I'm dieting right now. I bulked up. Now I'm dieting back down. And
Yeah.
I know I have a goal I want to reach. This is what it takes to do it. I don't necessarily just eat chicken breast and rice, like you don't want to start your diet at like so steep and deep that you can't keep up with it. Everybody says consistency because
Well,
it's
you'll
it,
get
it
burned
really
out
is the
if you're
key.
just
Yeah,
eating
you don't
veggies,
yeah,
chicken
you don't do
breast,
that, man. That's
rice,
why
sweet
I love counting
potatoes.
macros. And people are like, I don't want to count macros. I'm like, the thing that macros allows me to do is eat what I like, eat enough of it, and control my calories in a certain way that is perfect for me. Some people like to people that do keto, if you can keep up with it and you can do keto and always do that, and that's because it is a lifestyle, it's a lifestyle
Yeah.
change, so, or if you can
Well,
fast, some people like
my my
fasting.
my biggest thing that I think did the most for me is just limiting my sugar
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
drinking
that's
because
huge.
alcohol has a lot of sugar. So one, I don't
Yeah,
drink ever unless
yeah,
it's
me
like
neither.
not like a special occasion, but like on rare occasions. Outside of that, I'm not going to the store buying a 12 or 6, anything like that.
Mm-mm.
But the biggest thing is sugar.
And don't get it twisted, people.
Like
We used to drink a shit ton. I'm talking like a
yeah,
handle a week, handle half a
dude,
week, a Friday night,
when I
Thursday
was
night,
like
Saturday night. Oh my God.
when I was like 20, 21 working at 7-Eleven, man, that fountain machine was my best friend, bro. You know,
Ooh, you have a
but
Red Bull. Remember I got kicked out of the bar
but
for all those, what were they
you
that I
have to
drank?
think, man, a single can of Dr. Pepper has like
Yeah, yeah.
89% your daily value of
Yeah,
sugar.
yeah.
And
Spikes your
so you
insulin. I
think
mean,
people are grossly going over their daily values of
yeah,
things. You have one Dr. Pepper, two Dr. Pepper,
yeah,
and then sweets on top of that. Back when Krispy Kreme opened up by my work, man, they were bringing over, I think, 20 boxes of donuts to just my work, dropping them off, being like, we just opened, we want to promote this, and that. And
yeah.
everybody's like, oh, you gonna have a donut? I'm like, nah. They're like, you're not gonna have a donut? I'm like,
Oh,
I
I get that
save
all the
that kind of
yeah, I
stuff
get
for
all that
special.
time
Like if
now.
I go to Cheesecake Factory because I love cheesecake, I'm
Ooh.
getting my cheesecake.
Well, it didn't
But I'm
help when
not gonna sit
Cheryl
here
worked
and
there.
smash.
My wife was a bartender at Cheesecake for 15 years. She was bringing home
Yeah.
cheesecake every, oh my God, I gained,
Well, I
that's when I
want to
gained the
eat it
most
like
weight.
that,
Well, it
but
wasn't
people
like,
don't understand. Oh, you watch what you eat. It's like no, I give myself restrictions because
yeah,
I mean uh,
it's crazy.
obesity is a big
Yeah,
thing in America, and I'm
yeah.
not shaming anyone. Man, do what makes you happy and deal with the struggles that you can deal with. But
And people
I don't.
set unrealistic goals. Like there's a guy I help and he comes to me with stuff he has and he's in a hurry to he wants the end result now. And I'm like, dude, it's not about the end result now. It's about day-to-day journey on getting there. You will get there. If
Yeah,
you I'm not saying if you listen to me, I told him what I did. He started off like 227 for like I'll say maybe 2.5 months ago, and he's a year older than me, or he's my age. He's 200 pounds right now. I was like, and I told him, I said, okay, you've been listening to me, doing what I told you to do for the last 3 months. All I did was explain to him dieting restrictions. That's
hmm
it. Working out less
hmm
because he was like, I want to bench 300. I was like, that's the ego, man. You're 46 years old. You don't be trying to hit 300-pound bench. He's like, it's not ego, it's a goal. And I'm like, and we talked about it today in the gym. And I was just like, dude, you don't need to do that. Say you do that. Say you're pushing that 300. What happens if you don't hit it and you blow your shoulder out?
yeah.
Why? Who are
Well,
you trying to press? Just to say I bench 300? Like, dude, come on.
I don't even give advice anymore because a lot of people I work
Yeah,
with are
it's
like,
a
oh,
waste of
what should
time.
I do? And because just for the simple fact that people don't listen. Like the last
Yeah,
two dudes I gave advice to, they were leaner dudes. I told them, when you're lifting, drop 10 pounds from what you feel is like your hard, not your PR,
yeah,
but your hard max. drop 10, 15 pounds from that and do that for like a month. And I was like, it's not about your muscles will feel like they can lift that weight, and you most
Yeah.
likely can. But what it is your tendons aren't built up to support that weight, and your joints aren't. And sure enough, they didn't listen to me, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not their
Go ahead.
keeper. But both of
Yeah.
them came back a week later, hurt my elbow, hurt my shoulder. And it's like, listen, man, slow and steady wins the race, especially when you're stressing your body like that.
Let me get a couple more, and then I'll
Yeah.
get over to you and see what you got for me. But this one says, destroy the old you before it destroys you. Now, see, I
See
like this
that,
and I
bro?
don't like this, because destroy the old you. I can understand that if the old you is screwing up, the old you is causing problems or going down a path that you shouldn't be going down. But what happens if the old you's cool? The old you got you to where you are now. The old you,
I equate it to just having a goal, man. Like if I
yeah,
mean, everyone
every
procrastinates.
everybody, yeah,
Everyone does
everybody.
things
I
that
think everybody should
is
have a goal.
self-sabotage.
Yeah. This
You
one's
know,
your new life is going to cost you your old life. Are you ready to make that
yeah.
deal? Yeah.
That's like
Yeah, I
when I
like that one.
moved out to that's when I moved out here to work for the old business. You called me up and was like, "Hey, you got this job." I was bartending, but I was over the late night hours, things like that. And it's not a right away thing. It probably take 3 months. And you called me like 2 weeks later and was like, "You got an interview here in a week." You know, and I always tell people, like, if you can't make the opportunity happen, prepare yourself to seize it when it presents itself.
Hey, look at
That's the
me.
best thing you can do.
I'm in Kentucky. I never planned on being here.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I mean,
every and you
but
can
you had a skill set that allowed you to seize an
yeah.
opportunity that changed your life
I
exponentially.
tell people that all the time, and I'm not super religious or anything, but I said every time God has opened a door for me to walk through, I've walked through it, and every time it's
Yeah.
been for the better. When I worked I was in school for pharmacy, and I had a month left to graduate, and I took the job at Invitech, and the next 2 weeks later, I was in Italy in a refinery. 10 years down the line from with Invitech, or 9.5, whatever it was, got a job here. Now I'm here in the oil refinery, and everything's been just going amazing. So, and now I have Elijah, like we didn't plan on having a second kid. He just, a blessing came along, and love my little man. But anyway, that's what I got
Yeah.
for you today. I don't want to keep you too long. We'll just keep this one short. Try to get in here before we got a crazy weather system coming into Kentucky this week. So,
Let me see here. I always have a list of quotes that I like to read to myself sometimes, just to keep motivation. I'll read some of those, I guess, in the spirit of what you're doing.
you
A
like
man
that?
grows with the greatness of his task. If you can rise to the occasion, you can rise continuously.
I like that. I just feel like in today's society, everybody gets too easy of a pass. That everybody, I miss the grind of men of the past. I miss, like, the guys from the 50s, 60s, 70s that built United States up from the ground. I feel like a lot of young guys, and I see this at work. This is speaking from experience, not from speculation. It's, man, they're at a job, they're making 150K, and they're bitching about it. They're just like, oh, I don't want to be out in this cold, or I don't want to be out in this heat. And I'm like, dude, you're not laying
Yeah.
concrete. You ain't on a roof. You're at home every night. I've been to those jobs where you're in the desert for days on end, sleeping on the front deck of a tank, taking a
Mm-hmm.
shower out of a 5 gallon water jug. Like, dude, you're playing on your phone right now. Like, what are you complaining about? So it
Yeah.
just sucks. But yeah, you're right.
This is one I actually thought of a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, everything I've been through, my divorce, friends passing,
Yeah.
different things like that. But this one is one I thought of myself is, if life is so hard, how'd you make it this far without being strong? People need to give themselves more credit for their capability.
Yeah.
You see it all the time with folks, people, being diminished, overwhelmed,
Yeah.
stressed, mentally and emotionally fatigued is an ongoing thing you're never going to get rid of. But if you can give your mind the energy to focus on that, you got to equally give your mind to give you credit for making it, accomplishing things. Life isn't easy for anyone.
Yeah.
And
Everybody got
if
bills.
it,
you know?
everybody got bills,
Yeah.
everybody got woes. Let me see here. Well, this one I really love. Uncommunicated expectations are premeditated resentments.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
right there, that right there,
Yeah.
bro, I use that on a daily basis. I use that with my managers at
Yeah.
work. I'm like, yeah, how you going to get upset with me? You didn't tell me nothing. You assumed I would just know something I don't know. How
Yeah.
does that even work?
Yeah.
We are people. You need to vocalize expectation. That goes for family, relationships,
Hey,
friends,
we preach all the
anything.
communication. We preach it all the time. That's
Communication.
why a lot of relationships fail. That's why a lot of friendships fail, because you can't just be, you expect people to know how you're feeling or know how to treat you or know what you want, instead of just saying bluntly, like, quit tiptoeing around it. Say what you feel.
Yeah.
Don't worry about if somebody's going to get mad or not. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Another one too, and this one's for the dudes, because I said this to a young man that was at my work. He does what is it, shot put and
Yeah.
something
Oh,
else,
that's
and he
cool.
was going to Sacramento to go to college for it. And I was like, "Oh, bro, you going out there? You got a
Sacktown?
girl here?" And he's like, "I'm talking to a girl, and I don't know if I want to make her my girlfriend. I am going out there, but I do come back in the summertime." And I told him this. This is something I
You
also
mean he was
thought
going to
of
try to
too.
do
Like,
the long distance thing, keep her up in Reno,
yeah.
and
Well,
while he's in Sac?
this still falls into the ownership of understanding what you're putting yourself into and what you're capable of. This quote I thought of,
Hmm.
don't put yourself in situations that will turn you into a man you don't want to be.
Mm,
Accountability is important in life, man. And more
yeah,
more dudes need to think about that, man. It's fun to act willy-nilly, but repercussions are real in life, man.
yeah, yeah,
Kids, health, things like that. No one's really to blame outside of yourself to a certain point. Same as that other quote that I've heard numerous times. You can only be a victim once before you become a volunteer.
yeah. There's one I heard too. There's that I liked a lot. It's like, you can have 1,000 problems, but when your health fails, you only have one. So be happy you have
Yeah.
1,000 problems.
It,
Be thankful for what you have. I mean, we both remember that girl that lived in that apartment building with us when we were younger. Was this had to be before I went to the army, when we were living right next to downtown. Remember, she was 25 and going to college, and she passed away in a head-on collision. Do
no,
you
I
remember
don't.
her when we were living at the house right there on the Esplanade, the apartment building? She lived
I
across.
remember those
She lived
apartments.
across from the pool. I forget her name, but she was 25 years old, and this was when Bill was managing, and that one crazy blonde chick that lived there, and that buff dude that would always be out sunbathing in a thong in the pool.
Oh, I remember that dude. That dude was a lot, bro.
Dude was huge, but I mean,
Being like
like,
15,
nah.
16 and being like, what the?
No thong, homie, no thong. You need to quit that. Get your baby oil. Get
I
the hell
mean,
out of here.
kudos to that man, dude. That's not my jam, but
No, shouldn't
no.
be any man's jam. But
Dude,
hey,
that's
whatever.
like seeing dudes in man leggings at the gym. Like, I get it,
Oh
bro, but
gosh, or short shorts.
short to do. Yeah, as
Get
I
off,
said, don't
homie.
come and put a knee up on the freaking bench
Those
press next to me trying to talk. Like, you better
those
take
five
that
inch
leg down
shorts
and keep
belong on a
moving.
yacht somewhere up in Boston or something with your pink shorts. You
Yeah,
know.
man, you better take it to Italy, bro. The girls will love it over there. Well, even when we lived in Venezuela, man, fucking,
Oh, I know.
when we
Yeah.
asked dad to get us board shorts
Oh
instead of
gosh.
Speedos, dude, being in
Yeah.
Speedos, like, I was like, this is not like, I'm
No.
13, look like, nah, bro, that's not how it is.
Ain't trying.
Cultural differences.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do that. They well, even down there when I wore boxers. Remember, I wore boxer briefs, so they were
Oh
like,
yeah.
and then he's like, "No, we wear underwear here. That boxer briefs are for old men." I was like, I don't care. I'm not wearing boxers,
Yeah.
homie. Like, I try to wear tidy whities.
Dude,
I
man,
know,
there
man.
was there was so much differences, cultural differences down there when we were down there, but yeah, no, that
Hey, gotta
like,
overcome.
I wore boxers for days, but after a while, man, like, yeah, I'm boxer briefs now, but
Yeah,
boxers, man,
that's
I
yeah. I've
phased out
worn
of
boxers.
those like probably when I was like
Well, they
21,
didn't. Well, they didn't
22.
have boxer briefs back like that I knew of back in like '93. You know what I mean? That's like
No, they did not.
that. I
They
just
didn't.
had
It was
regular
straight up
boxers.
tidy
Now,
whities
yeah,
and or boxers.
I wear boxer briefs are like tighter, more supportive. They cradle and cup the junk.
Yeah. So I'll end it on this one for myself,
Yeah.
man. This is the last quote, and I think this is a good one too. A lot of people need to really ingrain this in their mind, just because, especially when you work with the general public, things like
Mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Act like a bitch,
not
expect to get smacked.
yeah,
No.
right, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. A grown man's game charges a grown man's price.
Oh, all day.
That's a Denzel quote.
Oh,
Um, but this one is everybody you fight is not your enemy, and everyone that helps you is not your friend.
yeah,
Like,
that's true.
bro,
Yeah.
phone drop on that. That is probably one of the biggest things I keep in my mind all the time, because just because we're cool and you treat me nice on a daily doesn't necessarily mean you're my friend. It doesn't necessarily mean you have the best intentions for me. I know a lot of guys out there can speak from the same experience I'm about to talk about. I had two exes that I lost good friends over because they kept quiet in the shadows, trying to work their mischief. After I broke up, they came swooping in and acted like I was some POS when
Captain
that was never the case.
Sava.
Dude, they threw on capes. They wanted to be that guy, and they never were that guy. They never
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
that guy. But it was funny because I watched years down the line them dealing with the struggles of their stupidity and their bitchness. It's like, cool, you could have came to me as a man and been like, hey, and I've been
yeah,
like, fine, bro. Like, just because she my ex don't mean she out to sheet. It's not my property.
yeah.
But I always think about that quote because it really keeps things in perspective when dealing with people. Because a lot of people out there, like everybody wants to be inclusive. Let's do this together. Let's do that together. Let's do this. And
Yeah,
like it's the
for
same thing
sure.
I tell my girl. Like if you're out drinking, call me. Don't
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
You need me to come pick you up? Call me.
yeah.
You
Don't be.
feeling like you don't want to be there anymore? Call me.
Yeah, let's
Don't
go.
relinquish the responsibility yourself to anyone at any
Uh,
point in time.
yeah,
I
for
mean, I'm not
sure.
saying I'm your savior, but don't go out with people that or you can't 100% in all confidence say that they have your best interest in heart because like that's the real reality. People are self-serving, especially when certain things are involved. It could be alcohol, it could be social dynamic.
Yeah,
We all
well,
have friends that try to
we're from a big college town. Chico was party
yeah.
city for us growing up, and so I mean,
Oh yeah.
we grew up very fast, very
It's a
young.
small big town.
Like we were
But
in
we
frat
know what it
parties at
looks like when
13,
people
so yeah,
well,
we get.
having friends that put people down to try to make themselves look better,
Oh,
man.
I
Like,
hate
bro,
that.
either
Yeah,
shine because you shine, but like, don't start trying to shine by taking away, man. I've
yeah,
never
it
respected that.
happens at work all the time. People talking behind each other's backs and stuff, and I'm like, why are you making fun of homie
Yeah,
because he's not in the room? Like,
yeah.
why don't you say it to his
Now,
face?
well, we've said it before. Anything I say, I'll say to your damn face.
Oh yeah, but not everybody's like that. There's people that are,
No, of course not.
they ain't
That's
got
why
nothing
I
to
say that
say,
quote.
or they're not interesting unless they're putting people down. That's how they
Yeah,
get their attention. And it's like, dude,
yeah,
that's what. If you're saying that about him, what do you say about me? So I just rather
yeah.
not. I'd leave the room, not try to be present, or just not be part of that conversation.
No, I'll listen. I like to
Yeah,
listen. I'll be like, what you saying about him? I'm like, damn, that's wild. That's wild. That's wild. But you're telling me more about yourself than you are about that
yeah,
person,
yeah. Take a mental
especially if that
note.
person ain't around. And I also know that person to a degree.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
there's people that I like to talk to, but at certain times I don't like to engage in a social setting just because I'm like, bro, you could be mad annoying sometimes in social settings. It doesn't make me dislike you. It's
yeah.
just,
It is what it
I
is.
have my limitations for things, man. But people take that as a slight, and it's like, that's not a slight, bro. Like, I have no promises to you, bro. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
yeah. All right, we'll leave her there then. All right, thanks for joining us today. I know it's a little different than our usual stuff, but we appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Till next time.